friend, thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have for you a spin on a Vinyasa flow style class. We'll be doing some standing balancing poses, really working on and testing our balance today. We're just gonna have some fun with it. I will be offering some modified sun salutes, so if you are proficient in Vinyasas, taking your chaturanga through up dog and down dog, please feel free to kick it up a bit and do that, but otherwise, we will be offering some modifications just to make it more accessible to everybody. So let's go ahead and get started.
We'll start standing at the top of the mat, big toes touching. Bring your hands into heart center and close your eyes down. Standing up tall, reaching the crown of your head towards the sky, rolling your shoulders back and down, and just coming into the present moment. Bring your attention to your breath. Take a big inhale through the nose, and then exhale out the mouth, releasing tension. Another just like that. Inhale, really filling up. And then exhale out your mouth, even slower. Sealing your lips and shifting to an ujjayi breath if that's comfortable for you today. Inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils to keep that heat will build inside. Carrying this breath with you throughout your practice, linking your movements with your breath. I encourage you to listen to your body throughout this practice, challenging yourself and going to your own personal edge, but backing off when you need to. Taking a child's pose if you need to reconnect with your breath at any time. Honor your body where it's at today, and be kind to yourself. And blinking your eyes open. Inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead, letting your fingertips touch. Exhale, squeezing your glutes, doing a baby back bend. Inhale back through center, and then exhale, hinging at the hips, forward folding. Inhale, halfway lift, bringing your hands to your shins, really lengthening your back here. Exhale, forward fold. Plugging your hands into the mat and stepping back to a plank position. Taking an inhale here, and then exhale, sending it back to down dog. And we're still warming up the hamstrings, so you can be gentle, pedaling your legs out, bending one knee at a time, just waking up the hamstrings, being kind to ourselves. On your next inhale, take a look up at your hands and walk or hop your feet to the top of the mat, staying bent over in this forward fold. And then inhale, halfway lift, bringing your hands to your shins, really lengthening the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead, letting your fingertips touch. Exhale, squeezing your glutes to protect your back. Do a little back bend. Inhale back through center. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, bringing your hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold, plugging your hands into the mat, stepping back to that plank position and taking an inhale here. You can either go straight back to down dog, or if you prefer to take a vinyasa, you can do chaturanga, up dog, down dog. And we will all meet in down dog, taking a few breaths here, reconnecting with that breath. On your next inhale, take a look up at your hands, walk or hop to the top of the mat, forward folding. Inhale, coming up for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead, letting your fingertips touch. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, hinging at the hips, forward folding. Inhale, coming up for a halfway lift. And then exhale, plugging your hands into the mat. Stepping back to that high plank position. Inhaling here and sending it to down dog, or you can take a vinyasa. Just doing what feels good for you in your practice today. And we will all meet in down dog, taking a few more breaths here. Remembering that you can come down to a child's pose at any point throughout this practice. Taking one more breath here. And then on your next inhale, shoot that right foot up towards the sky for a 3-leg down dog. Exhale your knee to your nose, core plank. Inhale, shooting that right foot back up towards the sky for a 3-leg down dog. Exhale, knee to nose, core plank. And then pressing your hands into the mat, rounding your upper back, really creating space for that right foot to become between your hands. Coming into a low lunge, dropping the back knee. You can keep your hands on the mat here, or you can lift your torso, bringing your hands into heart center, or even lifting your arms up overhead. Really lunging into that front leg, stretching your hip flexors, quads, and hamstrings. Sending your breath to your hips. Inhale here. And then exhale, bringing your hands back down to the mat to frame your foot. Lifting that back knee so it's easier to step back to that plank. Taking an inhale here. And then exhale, slowly lowering all the way down to the mat, letting your belly come to the mat. And then inhale, lifting up for cobra, hugging your elbows into your ribs, keeping a slight bend in your arms here. Getting this little back bend and building some upper arm strength. And then exhale, pushing back to down dog. Connecting with your breath here. And then on your next inhale, shooting that left foot into the sky for 3-leg down dog. Exhale your knee to nose, core plank. Inhale, left leg back up for down dog. Exhale, knee to nose, core plank. And then bringing that left foot all the way to the top of the mat between your hands. Coming to a low lunge, dropping that back knee. You can keep your hands down on the mat, or you can lift your torso up, bringing your hands into heart center, or reaching up overhead, lunging into that front knee, sending your breath to your hips. Inhale here. And then exhale, bringing your hands back down to frame your foot, stepping back to plank. Taking an inhale here. And then exhale, lowering down all the way to your belly. Inhale, lifting up for cobra. Making sure to hug your elbows into your ribs, keeping a slight bend in your arms. And then exhale, pushing back to down dog. And now we'll play with some standing balancing poses. So I just want to remind you to challenge yourself while also being mindful of your body and how you're feeling. We're just going to be having some fun with it. This is a lighthearted practice. So if you wobble around or fall out of something, that is perfectly normal. Just keep trying, get back into it, and let's have some fun. So on your next inhale, shoot that right foot into the air for 3-leg down dog. And then exhale, stepping that right foot between your hands, coming up into a high lunge, getting on the ball of that back foot, bringing your hands into heart center, taking a couple breaths here. That back leg is strong and active, seeing if you can straighten it as much as possible. And then we're going to have some fun shifting into Warrior 3. So you can bring that back foot a little bit closer, bending into that standing knee, seeing if you can lift that left foot up into the air, bringing your torso parallel to the mat, making sure that you're still breathing. And it can help to find that drishti or that focal point to look at, something to look at in front of your mat that's not moving, just to help you keep your focus. It is perfectly okay if you wobble or fall out or feel your feet calibrating. This is a hard one. Then from Warrior 3, we're going to see if we can come up to standing on one leg, not letting that left foot touch the ground, just curling that left knee in towards your chest. If your foot comes down, that's totally okay. Maybe you want to hold on to that left knee, pulling it in more towards your chest. And this is a perfectly good place to stay. Or maybe you want to wrap your peace fingers around that big toe, extending your left leg out in front of you, making sure you're still breathing regardless of where you're at, finding that drishti or that point to look at. And then letting go of that left foot, we're going to start to reverse it. So bringing your hands into heart center, and then shooting that left leg back for Warrior 3 again. Bringing your chest down parallel to the mat. Breathing here, your one straight line. And then slowly with control, stepping back to that high lunge. Coming back to the ball with the left foot. Taking a breath here. And then inhale. And exhale, bringing your hands back down to the mat, stepping back to that plank. You can either take a vinyasa here or just sending it right back to down dog. Using this time to connect with your breath, but also celebrating what you just did and congratulating yourself, because that is a very hard sequence. And you know what? You did it. And you did so good on this side. Now we're going to do it on the other side. On your next inhale, shoot that left foot up towards the sky for 3-leg down dog. And then exhale, bringing that foot all the way to the top of the mat, coming to the ball of that back foot for a high lunge. Activating that back leg, making sure it's as straight as possible. And then we're going to have some fun shifting into that Warrior 3. So you can bring that back foot a little bit closer, bending into that standing leg, trying to bring that right foot up, getting your chest parallel to the mat, creating one straight line with your body, breathing here, finding that focus point to look at, just helping you keep your balance. And then we're going to try to come up to standing on one leg, not letting that right foot touch the ground. If it falls, that's okay. But just pulling that right knee into your chest. You can hold on to the knee with your right hand. Or maybe you want to wrap those fingers around your big toe, extending that leg out in front of you. Making sure that your shoulders are pulling back. You don't want them slouching forward. You still want to be standing up tall, lengthening through the spine here. Breathing. And then you can let go of that foot, and we're going to reverse it. So bring your hands into heart center, and then slow with control, shooting that right foot back for Warrior 3, bringing your chest down parallel to the mat. It's okay if you wobble and sway. You'll notice that one side's probably a little bit easier than the other. It's like that for most of us. And then slow with control, bringing that right foot back to the mat, coming to the ball of that foot. Inhaling here. And then exhale, bringing your hands down to the mat and stepping back to that plank. and then either going back to down dog, or you can take a vinyasa here. But either way, we will all meet back in down dog, taking a couple breaths here. And then from here, we'll come into child's pose. So you can come down to your knees, spreading your knees about hip width apart, bringing your big toes to touch, sending your hips back towards your heels, and you can reach your arms up overhead, or you can have your arms down by your sides, just doing what feels good for your shoulders, connecting to that breath, relaxing, cooling down. And then slowly coming back up to all fours, crossing your ankles, coming down to your seat, and then extending both legs out in front of you for Pashimotonasana. You might want to remove your flesh from your sit bones, picking up one hip at a time, flexing the feet, and then inhale, reaching your arms up overhead, really lengthening through the spine, and then exhale, hinging at the hips, forward folding, letting your hands come down. Your hands do not have to touch your feet. That's not the point of the pose. So just bring your hands as far as they comfortably will go. And once you get there, just let your head hang down, relaxing into the stretch. You can keep your knees bent here if you need to. And then slowly coming back up. We'll stretch one leg at a time, so keeping that left leg extended, bringing that right foot to the inseam of your left thigh. Inhale, reaching your arms up overhead, and exhale, hinging at the hips, folding over that left leg. Again, just letting your head come down, relaxing. Slowly coming back up, we'll simply switch legs. So extend that right leg out, bringing the left to the inseam of your right thigh. And then inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold over that right leg. Just letting your hands go to wherever they land, not forcing the stretch, making sure it feels good, and just letting your head relax down, breathing into it. And slowly coming back up and just lying on your back on the mat. We'll be coming into bridge. You might want to grab a block if you prefer to do supported bridge, but you don't absolutely need it. So just lying down on your back, getting your feet about hip width apart, seeing if you can touch your heels with your fingertips, or at least getting close. And then inhale, pressing your hands and feet into the mat, lifting your hips up towards the sky, squeezing your glutes to help protect your lower back. You can slide that block underneath your hips, supporting your sacrum. Wherever you're at, make sure to breathe and gently pressing your thighs towards one another. then exhale, slowly coming down, one vertebrae at a time, letting your hips be the last to touch the mat. And just taking a second here to soak in that back bend. And then bring your knees into your chest, wrapping your hands around you, giving yourself a little hug. You can stay still, or maybe you want to rock side to side here. And then gently let both knees fall over to the left side, opening up with that top arm, reaching that right arm out to the side like a wing. Trying to relax both shoulders down to the mat. Breathing here, surrendering into the supine twist. Inhale your knees back through center. And then exhale, letting them fall to the right side, opening up with that left arm out to the side, relaxing both shoulders down, surrendering into the twist, relaxing here. Inhale your knees back through center, and then wrapping your arms around you again, giving yourself a final hug, staying still, or maybe you want to rock side to side, getting that final massage in your hips and your lower back. And then whenever you're ready, just extending your legs out, flat on the mat for Savasana, making any adjustments you need to get comfortable. Get your feet as wide as the mat, bringing your arms down to your sides at a comfortable distance. Closing your eyes down. This final pose is so important in our practice. The pose of integration, where you can really let all the good that you've just done for yourself soak in and become a part of you. All that strength you've just created in your mind and body, all the balance you've created in mind and body, all that space you created between your breaths as you calmed your nervous system down, all the space you created between your thoughts as you calmed your mind down. And bring your attention back to your breath. Take a big inhale through the nose, and then exhale out, letting go. Another just like that. Inhale, really filling up the belly, the chest. And then exhale out slowly. One more just like that. Inhale. And then exhale out even slower. Dropping down. Feeling how the earth is supporting you. Unclenching any muscles that might still be holding on. Signaling to your body that it's safe to relax. Feeling your head drop back. feeling your limbs become heavy. Just taking a moment to be here with just you and your breath. I encourage you to stay in your Savasana for as long as possible, soaking in the sweetness of your practice. But I will leave you here, and I thank you so much for practicing with me today, friend. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.